अच्छा, तो we start now. हाँ,
वेट 5 मिनट और वेट करें. 11:30 बजे लाइव चालू है.
11:30 बज गए.
हम शुरू कर दिया.
शुरू कर देते हैं. I'll start my first exercise in 5-10 minutes. So I'll just give a brief one. So,
1 मिनट 30 सेकंड हमको दे दीजिए.
हाँ 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 हाँ.
Thank you everybody for coming.
प्रणाम everyone.
It is a privilege to have our guru with us. Those who know us dearly. So we've been associated with NV Life for around 6 years, and whatever we have, it is because of his teachings. Whether it is a beautiful child or the emotional well-being or physical well-being, so whatever we have, it is because of him. So it is our privilege to host him here. Thank you.
तू तो मूड ही चेंज कर दिया पूरा. प्रणाम everyone. Thank you for coming over. I hope आप लोगों का संडे थोड़ा ठीक ठाक बीत जाए. Let me give a little background. Although we are here to talk about sleep and mental health, and I'm going to keep the session very interactive. I won't get into the details. I'll keep it very short as well, with the objective that you can actually identify what is working in your life and what is where something needs to be done. A little background about that is that I do not know how this question was planted in me, but it is planted in each one of us. The questions do not change, I guess. Very early on, I began with this question that why do certain things happen to certain people and not to others? The good thing and the bad thing, both ways. So when you ask such a question to yourself, you generally have an answer in name of karma and destiny and punishment. But then you don't ask second question, why I'm punished if I'm punished, why others are not punished. So my life began with this question very early on, teenage I'm talking about. And that has led me to do research in last 14 years, where I completed research, and now that's why this is my first time I'm sitting in front of people. Yeah, it's first time after long. So if you look at health and well-being, and if you look at existing choices and options available to you, you have 6 medical systems. Right from Ayurveda till allopathy, naturopathy, Yoga Shastra, Unani, homeopathy. You have 6 medical systems. They have their own plus, they have their own minus. Ayurveda, when it was written, it is the only system among 6 which has diagnostic, prevention, and cure. Prevention they gave us in the form of food. Diagnosis they gave us in the form of dosh. And for cure they had jadi booty and everything. The good thing about Ayurveda was that it was very holistic in a way that it was including the whole environment, the plants, the herbs and everything. But the bad thing was that you still had to depend on something. What I'm presenting to you in 14 years, what I ended up discovering it and I was led to on this journey was that I developed the first health system of the world, not medicine system, health system. And it works on the premise that for billions of years, this human body is designed by nature. You want to call it God? You can call it God. I like to say, designed by nature. And it's functioning very well. And if you apply this question, why certain things in my body happens and it doesn't happen to someone else, although you both ordered from same Swiggy Mart, right? And you got the delivery in 10 minutes. So what is that which is wrong with you? So health is something we should not be working for. Health should be working for the purpose we are born. And my research is not based in some lab. My research is with thousands of people who came to me right from ICU cases to mental health. So the diversity, the depth of this medicine system, which I call it as health system, is I like to believe and say that there's no case which we have not solved, right from cancer. And I like to say it more boldly because I want to hear somebody say, hey, can you solve my problem? You have not solved it. So I like to hear that way. So the premise of this system, health system, which you're going to experience today, is based on three pillars. Your health is driven by these three pillars. And if one of the pillar gets corrected, then other two will automatically get corrected. What are these three pillars? One is breath, second is sleep, and third is sexuality. Now, sexuality is a very large word when I speak, and it's there in the book. I think the book Meditation, the Cure, I was just remembering yesterday, day before. The book is Meditation, the Cure, which says that state of meditation is state of cure, the book which I wrote in 2017. But I think sexuality is the biggest chapter in it. And it is related to life force energy. When you relate it to life force energy, it becomes a very big chapter. It's not about sex. That is a very, very small part, and we don't even talk about it. Sexuality means the life force energy which is flowing through you, through your attributes. But that we can talk later. Breath, we're designed for 15 breaths per minute. If you are breathing, you are normal. If above 15, you're hyperactive. Above 20, above 22, that's where the disease is already set in. And when the breath reaches 8 breaths per minute, that's where the state of meditation happens, that's where the state of cure happens. So that is the breath part of it. But today we go now into the sleep part. In last 3 years when we did the research and we created the web series, which I invite that all of you should watch, it is available on website, animated web series on sleep, which I'm talking to you today. It says that the health system I'm talking about, it says that on these three pillars, if you only talk about one pillar, sleep, and the reason why our ancestors were very healthy, we are not, is that nature takes us to 8 breaths per minute every night. What is the premise of that? That is where your regeneration is optimal. That means does not matter how you spend the day. It does not matter. Nature will release all your hopelessness which you have accumulated in the night if you begin to align with nature. And if you recall, our ancestors had a discipline around dusk. We call it Sanj, 3 to 6 p.m. And I'm going to reveal, and you're going to learn this today, now in next few minutes. And that secret of prayer, which they followed intuitively, which our musician created raga for particular prayer so that you can align with nature. So the whole idea is that sleep is prevention, sleep is cure, and I'm going to now give you how sleep is the diagnosis of what you go through every day and the reason you have struggle, you have suffering, and how you can actually correct it. So let's talk about science of sleep, and then we'll get into anyone can volunteer. Last time Girish volunteered, but anybody can volunteer and we can diagnose each one of you for the quality of life, and it will indicate your health and well-being from the way you spend your day. So let's understand the science. Yeah, you need something? Let's understand the science. It says that life begins at dawn and lifestyle begins at dusk. I repeat. And you would understand that during the day, you are not living, you are surviving, whatever you are doing. That's why we keep missing our childhood. So it doesn't matter how you live through the day, because you can keep shouting about work-life balance and all that. The fact is that you are doing some work for surviving. That's not lifestyle. You can wear a better dress, drive a better car. That doesn't change internally how you look at your work. Your emotions do not change with that. And what matters to your health is not the car you drive, but the emotion you feel towards the work which you are doing. Therefore, morning till evening when you're working, that's not lifestyle. That's just living for surviving. So lifestyle starts with Sanj, 3 to 6 p.m. prayer. So what is happening at the time is nature is moving from manifestation, यानी physical reality जिसमें आप बैठे हैं, आपकी physical form, से nature का संबंध, the relationship nature has with you, is only till sunset. So if you say, I want to manifest something in physical reality now after evening, no, nature is not supporting you. You can force yourself. You can force yourself. You can keep doing that. But you are going away from nature. So if you understand where nature is going, you start to align, you are healthy and you are happy. So nature is withdrawing from manifestation and it is going for liberation till 3 a.m. So if you are not following the science of it, which intuitively our ancestor followed, you are going away from nature and your sleep is getting disturbed. So your breath has to be removed from materialistic thoughts. And we'll talk about it. We'll just relate with this. And in the night, 12 to 3 a.m., it goes to non-REM state of sleep, where the breath rate goes to 8 breath, where it does the regeneration, which means whatever damage you have done through the day, it restores you. So if you do not align from Sanj, then your sleep is disturbed, your regeneration is disturbed. Over a period of time, you find first in your mood, emotions, quality of life, and gradually in some form of disease. If you keep insisting on it, although nature does offer you several options and choices where you can restore back. And this is the reason we all wake up more hopeful than previous day every morning. And the day we don't, that state is called depression. So if you every day morning wake up feeling less hopeful about your life than yesterday, you are going towards depression. Not just by one day. You need to do that for a few days to be able to see that, yes, it is consistent. So a day is divided into 24 hours, and 24 hours is divided into 8 prayer. We know prayer? 8 prayer. And each prayer has its own frequency. So it does not matter what work you are doing. You can continue doing what work you are doing. It does not stop you from any party or anything else. This is internal process. So you can be cooking in the kitchen like you were doing yesterday, you would do now. The difference is internally, are you catching on to the frequency of nature or not? If you're catching on to it, you are getting aligned. So best way to understand that is if one of you can volunteer or two of you can volunteer, and I will show you how to experience that. Okay, one man, one mother. फ्रंट वाले ले लेता हूँ मैं. आपका भी आ जाएगा. पेन पेपर ले लीजिए आप. आ जाओ आप. सभी का हो रहा है. I'm taking one, but all of you are getting diagnosed here, right? Let's start. All of you can start actually by one or two. What time you wake up? I'll start questioning with one. What time you woke up?
So I regularly wake up at 6.
So let's take regular wake up, working day, because weekend we like to take little deviation from the schedule.
So, but my issue is, even on a weekend, my body clock is set for like 5:30. So even if I sleep at 2 at night, I would get, my eyes would open without an alarm at 5:30.
Right.
And it depends on me whether I choose to get up late. So that is.
We'll come there. It's fine. So morning 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. Let's say you woke up, like she woke up. Did you wake up between this? By and large. 3:34, right? This is the frequency of faith. 3 to 6 a.m. is frequency of faith. So if you woke up in that period, what was the frequency you were at?
I didn't get your question, but then when I wake up at around 3:30 to 4, I'm just falling on the bed, and bad dream keeps on coming.
Bad dreams keep coming?
And keep on, and I'm planning the whole day, what I'm going to do, what I did yesterday, what I'm going to do, how I'm going to strategize, so that keeps on happening.
Right. So 3 to 6 a.m., we're coming there, thank you. 3 to 6 a.m., he feels he has some bad dreams in the night. And we'll talk about dreams also, how to interpret dreams, but maybe not in this session. It's there in the web series, you can watch that. That's the frequency of faith. That's where the insights are coming. But that depends how you slept. We'll come there. So 3 to 6 a.m., if you wake up with the thoughts of what you have to do today, or you wake up with emotions of yesterday, you are not sleeping. You are not sleeping. Regeneration has not happened. Exactly these bad dreams, 12 to 3 were supposed to be grounded by nature, which you ended up catching and interfered with regeneration, and you will learn today now. So 3 to 6 a.m. is a frequency of faith. Anything and everything So you get three things in that at 3 to 6. You first get the guidance. See, nature did not send you here to struggle and without a Google map. It sent you for a purpose. There's a design. And he doesn't just leave you alone. He holds you. So it's a guided life. So 3 to 6 a.m. is insights. Either it comes in the form of dream, or you just wake up and you realize the problem I was struggling yesterday with is resolved. It has happened with all of you. It's just that in her age, teenage, well, not teenage, but in her age, you call your dreams, oh, it's oops, weird. I don't understand that. I don't know from where it came. Yeah. So, but it's not weird.
People like just start googling about it.
Yeah, and they start Googling about it. Huh? So 3 to 6 a.m., if you are experiencing anything other than faith, insight, and you also receive packet of energy to deal with your issues. So he doesn't just send you on the front without equipping you for the day. So nature is that much caring about us, but we don't listen to it. So we wake up with our own thoughts and emotions. Now 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. You can Google, it's there in the web series, but everywhere it is there. Name of the prayer. 3 to 6 a.m. is Usha Kal. And then I forget the name of second. This prayer is frequency of trust. 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. is the frequency of trust. So आप बताइए, when you wake up at 5:30.
So when I wake up at 6 a.m., very rare do I have any backlog or what happened. But I definitely, because I am a believer that the solution lies in the universe. So whenever I sleep with a problem, when I get up, I'm blank, and within half an hour, 1 hour, thoughts start coming, and somewhere I feel I found a solution to it.
Right. So when you have that kind of a situation where you wake up blank, wondering where you are, that means you had a sleep which is regenerative sleep I'm talking about. Great. After that, it should lead you to insights.
But then, after you wake up blank, half an hour or 45 minutes, the reality really hits you.
Fair. I'm only talking. That's fine. I'm only talking about few moments when you wake up. Right after few moments when you wake up. After that, a lot of us who are with the struggle of life, it takes over. But if you, that's also because it is right now happening to you intuitively. Once you understand the science, it will not happen. So 3 to 6 a.m. is the time for insights to be nurtured. And automatically, whatever issues come, they start to get dissolved. You know how to handle it. 6 to 9 is trust. What is the difference between faith and trust? So trust is थोड़ा ये tongue twisting है. Faith is trust in unknown. Faith is trust in unknown. So you don't say, I trust God. You say, I have faith in God. He's unknown. I trust him because, actually, I don't have an option, but yeah, I trust him because there is a God. So I trust there is a God and I have faith in God. So you have, faith is trust in unknown and trust is faith in known. So I trust my daughter, I have faith in her. For example, it's just an example. It's not reality.
I was noticing her expressions. Wow. That's
Yeah. Before any miscommunication happens, I stand corrected. So I can trust a relationship, for example. I trust my wife, but I don't have faith in relationship. What happens? I trust you. You're not a wrong person. But I just don't have faith in relationship because of whatever background. So can I really build a relationship with you, no matter how good you are?
I hope your wife is not.
Hmm?
She's your wife.
Get it? Yeah, she's around. She's around. So, you see the difference between the two?
But I think if you have trust, eventually that faith will develop.
Well, those are different scenarios for different people. I'm just putting the basic definitions in place. As you start to brood over it, you will figure out yourself, right? Different way, different things happen with different people. So whatever insights you came to you 3 to 6 a.m., it's time to trust them. They start to get executed automatically. Right? So if 6 to 9 a.m. you find you are insecure, in doubt, fearful, stressed, you're far away from the nature. You're not trusting yourself. 9 to 12 p.m. is the frequency of hope. You see how nature is moving? From faith to trust, trust to hope. So in this duration, you will find a lot of people in 9 to 12 struggling because that's a peak time for pressure. Even for homemakers, it's a pressure time.
Most pressure.
Huh?
They are in more pressure.
Yeah, they're more pressure. Yeah. It's a little bit of a relief also that man is gone. So major source of stress is gone. But there are other miseries in life. He's not the only one. So problems are everywhere. So if you are not feeling hopeful and if you are trying to work out, for example, what is the word? Jugaad ke liye. Manipulations. Yeah. No, I don't mean that you know all this, but Jugaad, frugal, right. So I don't trust this, so I want to do this, maneuvering around. If you have to maneuver around 9 to 12, please someone, do other way around. That means you're not living with the hope. You are managing yourself. And where is it coming from? Because 6 to 9, the trust was not there. Because 3 to 6, faith was not there. See the repercussion? How you wake up decides your day. And how you wake up is driven by how you sleep. We'll come there. "12 to 3, and I will leave you here with very small for this prayer. I don't know if some people have, I think homemakers have a direct privilege to experience this prayer beautifully. But nowadays they put the curtain on, switch on the TV during this time. 12 to 3 p.m. is the prayer of existence, which is a pure solitude frequency. If you can sit out for a few minutes, if you have this luxury, do that. Existence, which means till 12 p.m., whatever you had to do for the day, you're done. I'm not saying you don't do business meeting in 12 to 3, but progressive light-based visionary thinking which you led through the day, whether at work or at home, it stops at 12. You celebrate your existence from 12 to 3. Remember, I'm not saying don't do anything which you do till midnight. I'm only saying whatever you are doing, just connect with this frequency of nature and see in that prayer how far you are away from nature. That will decide your health, that will decide your happiness, well-being, and even relationship. For solitude, I don't have to sit outside in nature. It is an internal thing. I could be sitting in a conference hall giving a speech, but I have my solitude connected with me. I'm not relating with you. I'm talking to you, but I'm not relating to you because I'm connecting with my solitude here. And you don't know that. So it is inner process. You don't try to change anything externally. In fact, the moment you connect with nature, you find the nature of your work automatically is becoming effortless and changing. That's the whole objective of this work which I have done. Effortlessly changing and aligning you. And this is where now, after solitude, your prayer starts. Lifestyle starts now, 3 to 6 p.m. Prayer of Sanj. That's where web series is also named Sanj. 3 to 6 p.m. is Saikala. Sanj is a frequency of consolidation, acceptance, and pain. So you consolidate your day. You consolidate. You do not judge your day. You consolidate through the good, the bad, the failure, the success. You reflect upon it and realize it's over. So, for example, office goers would know it that they generally find that 12 बजे तक तो उनकी चाय और जीमेल और फेसबुक ही ख़त्म नहीं होते, 3 बजे तो वो काम शुरू करते हैं. ठीक है, तब उन्हें याद आता है कि अच्छा, we came for work and we need to file some report today. So whatever work you are doing after 3 p.m. Hello?
Yes.
Disturbing.
Stream. We just.
नहीं, घर के फायदा मत उठाओ. So a lot of people like to say that I have a lot of work to do. Yes, we're not taking that away from you. Do that for tomorrow. Consolidate. That you were pathetic in productivity today. You had several opportunities, but आपका मन नहीं मान रहा था, कुछ आपको और चाहिए था. And you could not do what you were supposed to do today. When you consolidate, same statement you make when you judge yourself, same statement you make when you consolidate. What is the difference? In judgment, you condemn yourself and you go into unworthiness. You think it is a failure of the day. When you consolidate, you look for the reason and insight. What is the insight from the day? That's the difference. So you come back with an insight. Had I done this today morning, my day would have fallen in place. Rather than saying, oh shit, I didn't do this, I'm not good at it. That's consolidation. The second part automatically takes care of consolidation is acceptance. Now you're not judging yourself, you have accepted. And the third part is the most important part. Pain. Why pain? No matter how great insight you gained, no matter you got promotion, lottery or whatever large contract today, you have one day less to live for it. So great, I failed today, I gained insight and I gain insight and I am, what will I do with this insight, with this system?
I will apply.
In future.
I would have to apply.
Application is important.
For that, I need to wake up tomorrow.
currently, I'm sorry, but currently, for me, nothing is falling in place, whatever you said. Because 3 to 6, I'm not reflecting or consolidating. I'm still into my existence mode that, why did I come to the office? I have to finish a lot of tasks. Morning when I wake up, I wake up with a lot of activity and I never wake up blank.
I'll take the Q&A. आप frequency पकड़ लो पहले, फिर वो flow नहीं टूटेगा. Individually, we'll take up the cases, huh? After this.
So on the pain topic, you said pain happens naturally or as a part of this?
See,
And if you're not recognizing pain, right?
I'll come there. This has been the most difficult subject for me for 14 years to teach people. And the day they experience it, pain is transformative. But let me finish this and then we go into Q&A. I'll skip the second part today. Maharshi Patanjali. This itself will go deeper into it. So एक चीज तो ढंग से खत्म कर लें. So I'll come to pain, right? एक बार ये खत्म. So the nature of see, I take example. Last time I took example when I was taking example of my son. He's a footballer. So he goes and he loses a match because he shot one goal wrongly. So he comes home and practices it. And he gets this right. What is his excitement? He's itching. When will we wake up tomorrow morning and I go and apply? So that's the beauty of wisdom, insight. That it creates so much hope in you to live that you want to apply. And if you don't want to apply, the basic attribute of wisdom is you can never keep it with yourself. You have to share, you have to apply. So all this talk about selfishness, it dissolves there. Because if you keep it to yourself, that wisdom, it will become like a rotten water. You will stink with it. So acceptance automatically will bring you pain. I will come to that part. And 6 to 9 p.m. All of you, if you realize, you would realize that 6 to 9 p.m. you are extremely lonely. Do you experience that? 6 to 9 p.m. is acute loneliness. Jari beta?
Yeah.
See you, thank you. %43% of urban Indian are shopping at that time. 25% of the monthly money you make, you're spending in managing your mental health. Right from binge shopping to quick commerce to frequent holidays, hoarding gadgets, they all are a sign of your sick mental state. And you need none of them. So I'm going to save you a lot of money today. Huh? Tomorrow send it to Tarun, half of it. I'm not joking, but yes, you would realize that. Yeah? 6 to 9 is the prayer with the frequency of, oh, I forgot my wife, 18 kg suitcase with her clothes. Yeah, we're dealing with that one case. So whatever money I save, she spends. Yeah. Say 6 to 9 is connecting to the roots. Roots means childhood, parents, lineage. Why are you lonely? Because you feel uprooted. Why do you feel uprooted? After having survived for the day, where would you go? Not your 3.5 BHK apartment. That's not home. You're trying to call it. You're trying to make it. So that's the time when you sit down with the family. And those conversations in old, आप लोगों ने तो देखा होगा, those conversations to 6 to 9 p.m. used to always be going into lineage conversation, childhood joys. And that used to tell you by 9 p.m. how far you have traveled in your life. Now, when you have grounded, you have insights from the 3 to 6, 6 to 9. Those insights become more meaningful to you because you've traveled so far. You feel contented and complete. 9 is the time you prepare for bed. You can go 10, but 9 you are looking forward to sleep with curiosity. Why you have a curiosity for sleep? You gained insight today. You want to live them tomorrow. If you don't have the insights, if you have a judgment about yourself, you're not curious to sleep. You take that as a burden. Life is a burden, sleep is a burden, everything is a burden. And when you approach sleep, the only way to, now how do you know that you are approaching sleep with curiosity? Is this curiosity, this insight, this grounding mechanism. So every night, 9 o'clock, you can ask yourself, am I curious to sleep? It's a checklist. If not, you probably didn't do the consolidation. So when you approach sleep with curiosity, that is where you gain regenerative sleep. 8 breaths per minute, where your body recovers, where regeneration is happening at a cell level. So 9 to 12 is the prayer of completeness in your gender. You should be sleeping by 10, 10:30. If you delay that, no matter what time you wake up, you're not getting regenerative sleep. Some of you would have Apple Watch and all these watches. You track your data, some of you? Okay, one of the doctors who were tracking it posted on Twitter, and I replied to him. He said, I have a pretty much, and he's a sleep expert, and yeah. He said, I have same pattern every day, except one day in a week, my sleep is disturbed. And he posted his graphs on the Twitter. It took me 10 seconds to see that one particular day when he's sleeping after 12 o'clock, his rhythm has changed. I said, you're sleeping after 12, so you can't have. 12 p.m. onwards, there's a different frequency. Your breath rate will be disturbed in any case. Hence, you can't get the same quality of sleep. So this is how you align with nature. 9 to 12, do something creative. Meditation, writing, seeing vision, sharing your life with your partner, sex included, anything which completes you before you sleep. You would see that some culture had this tradition, ritual of doing prayers before sleeping. That's creative. Then I will take you in Q&A, I will explain why it is creative. 12 to 3 is a prayer of dark. This is the prayer in which your fears get amplified if you are awake. If you look at the data of car road accidents, you will find all fatal accidents are between 12 to 3 a.m., 80-90%. For example, I have a rule, and now everyone in NB Life, everyone is making this rule. I don't get out of the house after 9 p.m. मैं वैसे तो मेरा वैसे ही नहीं जाता मैं निकल के, लेकिन 9 p.m. के बाद तो बिल्कुल मैं तो रूम से ही नहीं निकलता. But I don't drive after 9 p.m. That prayer 12 to 3 is a prayer of dark, where all your accumulated hopelessness is getting grounded when you are sleeping. If you're not sleeping, you're bringing it up. So a small trigger is enough for rage, for fear, for anger to amplify. It's natural. And in 12 to 3 a.m., when all this rage, fear is gone, that is where insights come to you in the form of dreams in 3 to 6 a.m. It has to clean up. That's what nature is doing. Nature is releasing all your hopelessness from 12 to 3 and then giving you the guidance. तो आपने सुना होगा कि सुबह का सपना सच होता है, क्योंकि सपना सिर्फ सुबह को ही आता है. रात को अगर आता है, जैसे इनके साथ हो रहा है, ये थॉट्स के साथ उठ रहे हैं, इमोशंस के साथ उठ रहे हैं, तो you are interfering with the hopelessness which was releasing. You actually woke up with it. So this is a complete cycle. So you can live your day through the day as you want it. 3 to 6 p.m., consolidation, acceptance, pain, grounding, completeness. These are the 5 frequencies you need to touch from 3 p.m. onwards to 9, 9:30, 10, 10:30. Till 10:30 is still okay. And then you have a perfect sleep, you have perfect health. So this is science of sleep. And it is a process of sleep which starts from Sanj. Nature is beginning to disengage from physical reality starting from Sanj. So please do whatever work you are doing till 8, 9, 10, but do it for tomorrow. Not to complete and feel, oh, I finished my work, now I can feel that I'm good with that. No. Consolidate kar lo. 3, 3:34, 4:35, 6, consolidate kar lo. That's why, like, a lot of culture has it, but Jain especially, they eat at sunset, by sunset time. Why is that important?
Digestion.
Huh?
Proper digestion.
Proper?
Digestion before sleeping.
No, it's nothing to do with digestion.
During the daytime they should eat. The sun is-
It's nothing to do with digestion. There's a whole lot of business running only on these kind of false narrative to hype. Finishing your last meal at 6:30 means whatever you had to do for surviving. Food is for surviving. It's done. Try to be hungry at the time and delay food till 9, 9:30. It tells you you are not contented with the day. It creates a lack in you. Now that you spoke about it, think about it. I'm not giving you an answer, but I'm giving you a question. आपने किसी गाय भैंस को खाना खा करके दौड़ते हुए देखा है? खा के बैठ जाती है, सो जाती है, तभी डाइजेशन होता है. सो खाना खाने के बाद अगर आप सो जाओ, that's the best form. Why? Doctors tell you 3 घंटा पहले खा लेना, because उनका दुकान उससे चलता है. For digestive juices, what do you need? That all your breath and energy should be here. And when is that here? When you are sleeping, because your mind is not active. It is not taking the energy up in thinking. So your entire energy right now, which is required for metabolism, is going here when you are sleeping.
You can't prepare the body.
Huh?
Otherwise, you can't prepare the body. That's why you have to eat 3 hours earlier.
Sorry?
You have to eat 3 hours earlier because later it can't repair the body.
आप सोचिएगा जरा. I just told you this, and this is the reason between veg and non-veg. We're digressing a little bit, but what is the problem with non-veg eating? No problem at all. Non-veg requires more energy to digest. Do you have that much time, energy? Decompose होना है ना food. The food has to decompose. Idli gets decomposed fastest. Chicken will take time. Mutton will take more time. Do you have that kind of digestive system which can decompose hard materials? Please go ahead and do that. So coming back there. So your rituals in your culture were designed to help you align with nature or to celebrate the nature. 6 p.m. eating, Sandhya Vandan in the evening, morning bath and Brahma Muhurat par meditation means, what is meditation at Brahma Muhurat? That faith frequency get intensified and amplified. No other significance. So I rest here. We can go into Q&A and we just handle this part. Rakshit? Sleep ही ठीक हो जाए सबका. बाकी तो 9 episodes are there in Sanj on web series. On the second part, which I wanted to cover, Science of Mental Health by Maharishi Patanjali. But I can't explain you as beautifully as it is cinematographically explained there with the storyline in the web series.
So very beautifully explained the different part of the day, Sanj, trust, hope, and so on. But I'm not reflecting, I'm not getting the same thing. Because for me, the timing which, whatever you have mentioned, I'm not aligned to the timing. Because
No, you do not need to align to the time.
क्या करना चाहिए so that I fall in place.
So I gave you the frequency of 8 prayer, 24 hours, and in which I took away 4 prayer. And I said, do whatever you have to do. 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. lifestyle starts when nature is going away from manifestation. So 3 to 6 p.m., if you start to consolidate your day, whatever time you woke up, let's say you woke up at 12 p.m. So 3 hours only. Can you consolidate your day and figure out the insights from the day? Good, bad, ugly, whatever way the way day went. That's the step 1. Step 2 is the acceptance of it rather than judging yourself. And third part, I'll explain pain. If anyone wants to borrow, I have a lot of it you can take from me.
So my question on the pain thing was, is it necessary to get pain, or you're saying it's just a byproduct which happens over the process of the day?
Can I get bottle soon? My bottle? Honey water. So when I said evening pain, I said, what do I do with the insight I gained today? I have 1 day less in my life now. Meaning to say, see, if you look at the way even we have made mistakes with our children, and the way we lead our life today is as if we are immortal and we have infinite time to enjoy life. So to be aligned with nature means to be aligned with the cycle of life and death on a daily basis. Imagine having spent a beautiful day today. Let's say you are on a holiday and you're at the most romantic place and you had the most beautiful romance. तरुण इतना बुरा मुंह मत बना रोमांस के नाम पे, बढ़िया बंदा है.
सबसे अच्छा बंदा है मेरे पास.
हाँ. What should 3 to 6 p.m. tell you? That's the pain. That is not eternal. Your wisdom, your sorrow, your misery, nothing is eternal.
No, I'm just thinking, I don't get any pain. So I'm wondering, is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? I don't get any pain. I'm not in any feeling of pain, nor do I feel bad. So I'm just wondering, what you're saying is, the time is
It will take you. It will take you some time. Sensitivity. See what I'm talking? Today we are very numb about our own self. We have numbed ourselves. In earlier time, if you go to the history of mental health was restored through energy body. So they said वो कुछ ऊपर चढ़ गई है, देवी चढ़ गई है, चुड़ैल चढ़ गई है, झाड़ फूक कराना होगा. What was that? It was healed at energy level, chakra balancing. So the sensitivity of a schizophrenic patient is phenomenally high compared to yours and mine, because they go into the dark and light at the same time in various quantum. Are you sensitive? No. Am I sensitive? No, because we need to numb ourselves to survive. So as you begin to align with the prayer, you will find that it is inherent frequency. Pain is an inherent frequency. There is nothing like, oh, my life is miserable, that I'm feeling pain. No. Nature flows in bliss and pain only. It's there in the book, very detailed explained. So I'm saying, if you can't catch out of the three frequency, one frequency, it's okay. It's a function of sensitivity. Just give yourself time.
So I think any kind of emotions, whether it is anxiety or a little bit of, a lot of curiosity, I think that can also be categorized as pain. Pain is not, as you said, pain is not only feeling your life is miserable.
Actually, pain has
It
nothing
can
to.
have different levels of, frequency levels.
Sure, but that's not pain.
That's not
There's a difference between pain and suffering. Pain is total acceptance of, let's say, loss. Acceptance of loss. That means you can't do anything about it. It's the truth. So if you want the different frequency, the flow chart starts like this. Is there in the Sanj web series. पूरा दिया हुआ है. Flow chart बना के दिया. Animated करके दिया. Loss of expectation brings you sorrow. Disappointment may lead to anger or self-pity. मेरे पे ताकत है तो मैं एंगर कर लूँगा, अगर ताकत नहीं तो सेल्फ पिटी कर लूँगा. Disappointment leads to that. But I'm suffering here. Then I begin to accept. I feel the grief. But with that also I have expectation. What if I say I have no expectation now? Pain. There are films in which, because when connectivity बन जाती है, relatability बन जाती है. So okay, so there is a place, there's a beautiful love story called Bridge Across Forever. I read it in my teenage. I never understood at that time. And this girl, Leslie, does a lot for this author. Beautiful love story. If you get a chance, please read that. The Bridge Across Forever, Richard Bach. The son of Bach musician, grandson of Bach musician, who wrote the book Illusion as well. So at one point, Leslie says to him, I'm done. Because I did my best for the relationship. So he says, you're sorry? She said, no, I did my best. After doing best, she says, there's nothing more I can do. I accept the loss. And there's no pain. There's no suffering. There's a total acceptance of it. And there's a wisdom too. So these are the layers. We say any form of sorrow, disappointment, we like to call it. There's a lot of pain in our life, and we'd like to use the word suffering also sometimes. But suffering is inversely proportional to pain. Once we get a little educated about emotions, because we are not educated about our emotions and different quantum, if you Google and figure out there are 50 emotions, and you try to figure out, you will find that you're becoming very, very knowledgeable and sensitive about yourself. You want to know the difference. For example, if you're angry, you are irritated, you're agitated, you're worried, or you're anxiety, you will just say, I'm feeling weird. Tapas gayi? Yeah. So that's it. More questions?
Yeah, I have a question. मैं एक एग्जांपल की तरह आपसे बात करती हूँ because I want to understand myself more. So I'll be very open and frank about it. मैं एंजाइटी की मेडिसिन खाती हूँ. रात को सोने के लिए एक दवाई चाहिए मुझे. And जिस दिन मैं वो दवाई नहीं खाती हूँ, कभी मिस हो जाती है, जो मेरे साथ फ्रीक्वेंटली बहुत हो रहा है. अभी रिसेंटली बहुत हुआ है मेरे साथ. जिस दिन वो मेडिसिन अंदर नहीं जाती है ना, 3 से 6 बजे डेफिनेटली बहुत भयानक सपने आते हैं. मॉर्निंग यस. और
Nightmare.
मैं बोल रही हूँ 3 to 6 बिकॉज मुझे याद रहते हैं एंड दैट इज द टाइम ड्रीम्स कम टू मी. अब ऐसे में क्या होता है कि वो सपने shivers देके जाते हैं and I know I'm shivering in the dream and this has happened in the last week, so that's why I'm sharing with you. The day I take that medicine, बहुत बढ़िया नींद आती है. I get up very fresh. I'm happy when I get up. And जो ये 6 से 9 बजे का टाइम है ना, जब मैं वो मेडिसिन खा के उठती हूँ और अगले दिन मेरे अंदर एनर्जी बहुत ज़्यादा होती है. I have hope. I don't know hope यहाँ पे कहाँ है, but उस समय मेरे पास hope होती है. And trust इस चीज़ का मेरे पास होता है कि मैं अभी उठ के जिम जाऊँगी and when you talk about कि 6 से 9 nature heals you and you all that, वो मुझे लगता है कि जब मैं जिम कर लेती हूँ या मैं वॉक कर लेती हूँ तो मेरा दिन मतलब मुझे लगता है शाबाशी, बहुत बढ़िया दिन स्टार्ट किया है. तो एंड ये दो चीज़ें मुझे आपसे एक्सप्रेस करनी थी. अब आप मुझे नहीं पता इसका क्या मतलब है. आई मीन यू नो इट बेटर. बट जब आप बोलते हैं
You're putting me under a lot of pressure.
you have to answer this.
ये सवाल बहुत बार इधर
बहुत बार आ चुका है. मैं तुमको पकड़ के रखती हूँ कब मिल जाए इनका टाइम मुझे. और एक जो आपने बात बोली थी 9 से 12 बजे कि कई लोग मतलब आपको सोचना चाहिए कि आप क्यूरियस हैं सोने के लिए. मैं बड़ी क्यूरियस हूँ. I to look forward to sleep on my bed. I look forward to go on the bed. So अब वो क्या है?
बता दो.
कि मेरे को दवाई खानी है, मुझे उस चीज़ का फियर है कि मुझे दवाई खानी पड़ रही है.
I look forward to sleep, and I sleep with sleeping pill. Means I'm running away from my reality. I don't want to face it. I'm so hopeless about life. I go to gym and I pat my back. Means I'm so worthless unless I do some labor work. I will not be able to appreciate myself. अब तुम मारे हो, अब तुम प्रेशर हमें दोगे, हम नहीं करेंगे क्या?
But that's the fact. I know it inside.
No, look, we are diagnosing something. We are not saying you are this. आपका जिंदगी में कुछ गड़बड़ चल रहा है तो उसका डायग्नोस तो होगा ना. Now let me help you with the diagnosis, and then of course you should actually join the program. How many years that you are suffering with anxiety?
4 years.
What is the trigger? You don't have to tell me. What was the trigger event which caused you hopelessness? Before this. That's the event, that's the root. That's not cause, that's the trigger. So when you watch web series, and if you need help, you have assisted program, they will help you. By taking care of this trigger, you would not need sleeping pill. It's the trigger, number one. Number two, don't jump into what I'm saying. Take advantage of this an hour or two which you have spent with me. Keep doing whatever you are doing. But keep reminding yourself that in this prayer, the frequency is this, but I am this. Become aware. Awareness leads to transformation. So before saying, hey, let me go into this program, Naveen will fix it. No, I'm saying, अभी 1 घंटा खर्च किया यार, उसका कुछ तो फायदा ले 2-3 दिन. प्रोग्राम तो भागे नहीं जा रहा.
I've already enrolled for Sanj twice. एक बार मेरा expire हो गया था, but I've again.
ये पढ़ नहीं पाती 3-4 एपिसोड।
मेरा तो even the book, some max 10-12 pages, tried thrice. वो 10 पेज पढ़ के 12 पेज पढ़ के फिर
बुक के मामले में तो आपका मेरा एक ही हाल है, मैं भी नहीं पढ़ पाता.
मैं कितनी बार अपने बेड साइड पे भी लेके सोती हूँ उसको, पर मुझे लगता है
No, see, sometimes when the leg is broken, you need a plaster, you need assistance. Sometimes you can't walk on your own, first step. So you need some little support, and then you will be able to say, okay, now I can run. So take help. It's there available. On your own, you are trapped, so you will, like you have a crane service, it doesn't repair the car. It just lifts it out, puts it in the garage where you can repair yourself. So you need a crane service which lifts you out of this pit which you are in. The day you do not sleep, the day you do not take pills, let me help you. Here is a cure, you don't need anything. Nature is helping you, you don't even need to listen to me. The day you do not take sleeping pill, you wake up with the nightmares in 3 to 6 a.m. Correct?
Yeah.
What is that nightmare? Horror. It is the same hopelessness which sleeping pill is suppressing inside you. Nature is releasing it. Allow nature to release 3-4 nights.
Scary.
Yeah.
The whole day goes for a toss.
वैसे क्या कमा लेती हो दिन भर में जो दिन से इतनी ज्यादा
बच्चे
हैं?
बच्चे देखने पड़ते हैं।
बच्चे आजकल माँ बाप को संभालते हैं, माँ बाप की कहाँ औकात रह गई है. I'm saying multiple solutions, multiple ways to solve it. Why are you suffering? वेट गेन उसी के बाद शुरू हुआ तुम्हारा. हाँ, तो फिर उसके मेकअप के अलग एक्स्ट्रा पैसे लगते होंगे जिम में. खर्चे पे खर्चा किए जा रही हो हैं, और कह रही हो बच्चे. जिसके पास एंजाइटी वो बच्चा क्या संभाल लेगी? झुंझलाहट में फोड़ेगी. तो 3-4-5 दिन के लिए निकल जाने दो इसको. हस्बैंड की सपोर्ट ले लो, किसी की ले लो.
Is also the base emotion of your trigger.
पूरे दिन में वही इमोशन जो वो बाहर
ठीक है.
And what is emotion? So we talked about pain, right? It is loss of expectation. So either you're not accepted the pain that your dad doesn't love you, your mother doesn't love you, your husband doesn't love you. That is loss of complete expectation.
I think we need to face it.
No, I am not saying you face it. ये खामखा की ब्रेवरी मत दिखाओ जब नहीं है ताकत तो. You just need to witness it and accept it. The strength is in your vulnerability, not in becoming brave.
But you also said that we go in self-pity mode, and what is after that? जब self-pity खत्म होती है कि पता है ये तो हो रहा है और ये
वो होती ही नहीं है कभी खत्म.
Vicious cycle वापस आ जाता है.
You only try to survive it. You keep changing form. आपने आयुर्वेद जिसने पढ़ा होगा, वैसे कॉमन विजडम तो है ही सबके पास. हम बिकॉज वी आर इंडियंस. 9 रस होते हैं ना, 9 इमोशन. और जो कलाएं हैं, आर्ट फॉर्म्स हैं, वो वही तो है ना कि one type of emotion transmuted into another form. How do you transmute your anger and express that as a love or as a compassion? That is what our dance forms and storytelling is about. That yes, you can give me you can give me a cause to get me angry, How do I convert and transmute this anger without suppressing it into an art form? Makes you win my heart. Oh, wow. So you would see a lot of delicate conversation. I've seen most. You would see in old-time Urdu language. They would be able to say, नहीं तुम जो कह रहे हो उससे मुझे क्रोध आ रहा है लेकिन प्रेम आप पर इतना ज़्यादा है कि समझ में नहीं आ रहा कि क्रोध कैसे एक्सप्रेस करूं. So what he felt anger and what love he had, he didn't compromise with both. He said, प्रेम भी है, अब ये क्रोध भी आ रहा है. So he witnessed. He didn't face it. That's the difference. Do we have some questions from online? Or check with Kitan?
So whatever you said, made me feel to open my app and to check my heart rate and my sleeping pattern. It is actually between 3 a.m. to morning 6 a.m. I'm sleeping, but releasing a lot of stress also in dreams and so on. The heart is at the rest phase, absolutely the most ambient resting stage, and it goes up till morning 6 a.m. and after that it picks up. It goes up very high throughout the day. And that's the same pattern throughout.
But if you are, this is giving you false data. If you are waking up with thoughts of today or emotions of tomorrow, yesterday, you are not sleeping.
That's true, I'm not sleeping, but I'm only talking about the resting hour. So I'm not sleeping because when I get up with a lot of actions in my mind. This has to be done.
Sure. So if you are consolidating, start doing that. Don't change anything in the morning. You can't. But if you start consolidating, you will find a huge difference. And then your whatever app you are using should show you the difference. Because you're taking a lot of load.
अगर आप सिर्फ लिखना भी शुरू करोगे उससे भी बहुत डिफरेंस आता है कि कल मुझे ये करना है तो लिख दिया रात को लिखे नहीं.
So generally I write what went well and what could have been better. So that's an app I try to log in there.
More questions on prayer science or sleep? Anybody else? Have you understood how to diagnose your day?
What is disturbed sleep? A lot of people, I sometimes wake up after 2-3 hours for no reason.
Sorry?
If you say that there's something called disturbed sleep, you sleep well, then after 2-3 hours suddenly wake up.
2-3 घंटे सोते हैं फिर एकदम
उठ जाओगे फिर आधा घंटे बाद दोबारा सो गए. No reason.
See what happens, like she was talking about that she has her biological clock set for 5:30. A lot of us have this problem of sleeping, then waking up in the middle of the night, then sleeping again. So what is happening there is that a lot of people have this very firm commitment, or in their mind there is a firm commitment that it disrupts the sleep cycle. See, when you wake up in the middle of night, in such cases, interrupted sleep, you are not waking up fresh. It doesn't give a feeling that you are complete with the sleep process. It's like you're driving on a highway and suddenly you see a zebra crossing strip and you have to stop. So check what is that which is waking you up, which you're holding very tight. There's something subconsciously or consciously, maybe you don't remember that, there's something you have, a fear or a resolve or a commitment that I want to do something. Some people get a little heavy with themselves.
So I have this habit for the last 30-40 years. If I have to wake up in the morning, let's say I have to catch up a flight or something, I will put an alarm clock. But 95% I will wake up before 9 o'clock, before time.
This happens with everyone. It's just this happens with everyone by default.
Because you sleep with the intention.
Right. So you see, those are different situations. In such situations where we have something for which we wake up early, or we have to put an alarm clock, we have already disrupted the natural sleep process because we programmed ourselves. Yeah.
So I have a concern. I don't know, since many years, even if I sleep well for 6 to 8 hours, or I mean, normally when I sleep, I would simply just get up in the morning only. In the middle of the night, very rarely I get up. But still, during the day, I have a habit of taking short naps, and like really, like sometimes, for a few seconds also. I don't know why. It just happens, and I take it, and then I get up. So, so is that bad for my body? And why does it happen?
It's after lunch.
At any time, after lunch, evening, even when I'm in the metro or in the car, anytime.
I mean, I sleep after lunch every day.
No, so I don't sleep for long, but I have those
Yeah,
power naps.
for 10.
Yeah, power naps of few minutes and sometimes even few seconds.
This is healthy. If you sleep in the afternoon, we had tradition earlier. People used to take a nap after food, lunch, and that's perfectly fine. In fact, it's better. After food, as I was saying, first of all, I don't know why it is coming on food. I'm not an expert. I just talking about what I practice. Food right after eating the food, you shall not engage in any activity where your mind is active for some time. That is why you must have seen people don't like to eat when they are working something engaging. बच्चे भी बोलते हैं एग्जाम से पहले मैं खाना नहीं खाऊंगा. Why? Because you cannot think. For thinking, the whole breath which you are taking is going into metabolism, but if your thinking is there, intense, then it is interfering with the metabolism. So you find it very hard after eating. If somebody says, let's do fresh thinking, you say, yeah, let's postpone it because I just ate something. Because you know it is burden if you have to think. So eating is a process. It's actually a ritual. You're putting something in your body.
Sorry, in my case, it's not only after food, it's which I think after every 3-4 hours. It happens on its own. Maybe when I'm, going in a car also. Is it normal?
I don't think it is normal.
So why does it happen?
Maybe you're trying to escape something. Is there something in your life? Is there something in your life you want to run away from?
Oh no, not really. I do. Not face exactly.
सोच लेना सोच लेना सोच
One
लेना.
of the new things which we are hearing, of course, of late is take a 10-minute walk after every meal to reduce the sugar spikes in your body. Again, if you're talking from the perspective of nature and our ancestors, the type of food that we are eating, more carb rich, more probably things which convert into sugar faster. So keeping that in mind, you still would say that let's not do that. Give your body, divert all your energy into
See, I give you the science. I practice. I eat 8 spoons of sugar every day. I'm 55. In my last 14 years, I have not done 10,000 steps put together in 14 years. I don't even step out of my room. I smoke. But this industry is running. They need to do something. I gave you the science. Have you seen a cow running for 10 minutes after eating food? Or it's a common sense. If you're talking to a doctor, ask him for a common sense. Which animal on this planet jogs and runs after eating food that they are telling you that you run or walk? Walking, yes, is helpful. It grounds your emotion. Do that before you eat. And then always eat 10% less than your diet is. Just enough. So more I say on it, I mean, these people are running their industry. They thrive only on, putting some kind of this kind of scare. And by now we all know how multinational companies first fought against desi ghee, then everything we know it. So I think you need to take what I'm here trying to say after 14 years of research is, guys, just be sensitive to yourself. Wisdom is with you.
Listen to the body.
Listen to your body. That's it. Listen to your body. It's not about veg, non-veg, sugar, no sugar. And as you follow the prayer, you will find your diet is changing automatically. The tastes are changing automatically.
Actually, sometimes I feel animals are a very good example because they have not changed. And if you see that, if you follow the cycle, if you observe actually an animal and you see their cycle, right? They wake up on time, they eat their last meal before sunset, sleep on time. If they are not well, they will not eat. They will always, so a dog will always follow the sun. So they will absorb more sunlight, right? They haven't changed. And this is how they cure themselves.
Or you see a child. That's the best example.
So, because they haven't changed, right? And they follow the pair system intuitively throughout the day.
We've learned from our daughter. She's 2 years old. The day she doesn't feel well, she will not eat. We don't force her. The minute she feels better, she knows she has enough energy to digest food. She will say more. We have a couple of questions.
Yeah, one question from her is coming.
Yeah.
After that, I take that.
About sleep, like if people are not able to sleep during the night, or if they are sleep deprived, so can they compensate in the late mornings or afternoons and say like I have had this number of hours of sleep? And what is is there any standard number of hours of sleep one person should get?
Right. So look, if you are sleep deprived and you cover it up in daytime or whatever, always do that first thing. Prevent yourself from falling into mental disorder. First thing. However, if you follow the science of prayer and keep doing whatever way your sleep is right now, don't try to change. You are on pills, take pills. Keep doing that. You will find that it is automatically changing your sleep.
So does it get compensated like night sleep if you have not had, and if you sleep in the afternoon, will it get compensated like?
No, it does not, because it is a nature cycle. Now that, okay.
That's a very good question.
Okay, so I take you to, I didn't want to touch that part, but okay. There's an Australian guy who created a world record of not sleeping for 11 days or something. 11 days plus so many hours. And that was the first experiment done on sleep in 1960s. This guy is still alive. He was 17, 18, 19-year-old at that time. It took him 14 hours next day. It took him next day 12 hours. Within a week, he restored back and he had no symptom of being sleep deprived. Great news that we can play with the nature. We can rape ourselves for 11, 12 days, and 2 days, 3 days, we are back. No, it doesn't work that way. Early 2000, he reported severe insomnia, and he attributes that to his experiment. Why? When you go to part 3 of Sanj web series, once you have seen it, then I'll explain you why. It gets a little complicated. There are partitions of your subconscious. Layers. We call it matrix in this. When you are awake in the night, going against nature, you're forcing something. Then these partitions are getting dissolved. Something is damaged for sure, permanently. For sure. Repercussion may come little later. So, thank you for asking. This is a very I have cut short this answer, getting into the technical details, how and where, which layer is cut. And if you tell me what is your symptom, I can tell you from where, which layer it is coming. But these are details. But to answer this question, yes, there are no set of hours you should have. Depending upon how bad your day was and how much time you need to release the hopelessness, that is the number of hours of sleep you should have. I'll give you a very good example of this myth which is starting 7-8 hours of sleep and all this crap which doctors talk about. Incidentally, some of you must have experienced one day in your life in love. गलती से? Yeah.
मेरी तरफ देखो बहुत सारे हैं ऐसे
बहुत सारे हैं, तो प्यार ही प्यार है तेरे कहने का. वो भाग्य तुझे पर अपन देख कर. Have you seen lovers sleeping for 2 hours? Do they need sleep? Because they do not live the day with hopelessness which you live, they don't need a sleep. Have you seen a mother sleeping and falling sick when the child is studying and going to school? Whole night she is idhar udhar tossing, but she is healthy. Why? Is she hopeless? She is not hopeless. She is living a light and a vision for her child. Does she need a sleep? Nature is supporting love and light.
So I have a question. So you were saying listen to your body. My question is, but to what extent should you listen to your body? So, for example, I'm still a student, right? And when I'm having my exams, I tend to stay up late while studying, and I tend to get about 5 hours of sleep before my exam. But after my exam, I feel great. But I know that if I don't sleep, I'm going to feel like I'm not going to feel great. So I make sure to force myself to sleep, wake up, and study for the next subject. And when I do that, I feel great. I feel like I can study. I can just keep going on, and I end up acing all of my next exams. So I've been able to achieve this by tracking my sleep. I try to get together around 7 hours of sleep every day. So I make sure that if I sleep 5 hours a night, I come back and then I sleep for 2 hours later. But I don't feel like sleeping, so I'm not listening to my body. I'm forcing myself here. So what is your opinion on this? About like forcing ourselves for the better good, even though your body has not realized it yet.
So what happens here is that, thank you for this question because it is just coming right after I talked about lovers. When you are working on a vision, you are not struggling, you are not trying to survive like all of us in the working class. You have a mission, you have a purpose. That means you have a light and a hope for tomorrow. You are able to regulate your body. You're not a normal person. In the sense that, actually you are the normal person, we are not normal person. Because this is how the life should be, living with hope, purpose, and light. Number two, at your age, you can, like he's a footballer, look at his discipline. He is very, very stringent discipline through the day. You can ask your body to sleep because you have something to do after that. So you can create a schedule. You can train your body at this age because you have a purpose. He has a purpose, he can train. But a normal working class, why should he train for suffering? It will not work because he doesn't have light. So all these people who are on weight loss program with gym membership and keto diet and all this thing which are organic and expensive, why does your plan doesn't work? Because you are hopeless about your life. How would a plan work when you are hopeless? Do you have a vision to lose weight? No, you have ambition to lose weight. And where does ambition come from? It stems from hopelessness. That's why your plans do not work.
So you're saying as long as you have a goal, then you can force your body to do it and it will listen.
I want to use two words, goal and force body. I would say I have vision, purpose, which you define as goal, and I'm not forcing my body. I'm training my body.
Because like when you give the example of gym, so this is something that I also enjoy doing a lot. So right, recently I've been tracking all of my macros, my protein intake, and I track all of my lifts, and I try to progressively overload. On some days it's difficult, but I find that my body is able to auto-regulate to the weights.
You need to, my advice to you would be, young man, my advice to you would be, swim across the ocean, don't count the drops. The fear you have about your body, drop it. You have a fear about your body, whether this will be able to sustain your goals or not, so you're counting. These tracking devices, they're causing you more damage.
You're training for the worst because you have that intent.
But I find that it's helping me to reach the goals, and once I reach my goals, I'm satisfied. So
It is because that is giving you worthiness.
Boasting is easy.
That is boosting your ego. So we have a couple of questions online.
Sure.
So Ashi Mehra is saying, I face an issue of acid reflux mostly between 3 to 6 p.m., which is a consolidation.
Acid reflux after
During Sanj prayer.
Sanj prayer. So what is the question?
So yeah, she's saying what is the reason why
What is the reason? Yeah, so this is exactly if you start to follow the frequency of prayer, that means his body is naturally asking it to go there, he's refusing it. So it's becoming acidic.
There's another question from Mukta. She says, I always wake up in the middle of the night between 1:30 to 2:30, which is the prayer of dark, and then sleep again, and then again wake up at 5 o'clock, and she is not able to break this.
I answered this when you wake up in the middle of night.
Then Prem Vyani asks, I go to sleep around 9 p.m. and have sound sleep, but I again have to use washroom at 3 a.m. and then I can't go to sleep after 3 a.m. 3
After 3 a.m., so you should not go to sleep. That's the time to sit, and I won't even use the word because I don't do meditation at 3. I'm generally up by 2:33, maximum 3:34. And then I spend my 2 hours in faith and vision. All my work is done between 3 to 6 a.m.
But what is the time to meditate? And that if you see all the prayers, what is the time to
Every time you breathe, you meditate.
So if the user
When you observe your breath, that is meditation. And there's nothing like what is the right time for meditation. Every time is for meditation.
There are a lot of things going on nowadays that when you breathe, like when you sit with yourself for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, as long as you can just breathe in, breathe out, close your eyes, you really rejuvenate, and then
See, the nature of just withdrawing from 10 people itself is rejuvenating. Number one. But you have already created, as people have taught you, you have already created a mess even in your silence. If you have withdrawn and you are rejuvenating, then don't do the task of breathe in, breathe out, exercise, counting. फिर क्या withdrawal हुआ? Mind is still active. तो कलयुग है, हर गधा पंडित बना हुआ है. आप प्रश्न नहीं करते हो अपने आप से कि भाई अगर मैं ये काउंटिंग करने लगूंगी तो फिर मैं शांत कब बैठूंगी? Purpose is defeated. So how are you sitting with yourself if you are counting your breath? You are not with yourself. You're not even breathing. You're counting the breath. You are a clerical, वो जो रहते वो पैसा जो गिनते रहते बैंक में, अपना भी नहीं, दूसरों का. When are you living? हाँ, हाँ. So pause for a minute.
I'm just about to spend some money on my iPhone.
चलो पैसे वाले के घर में हुआ है ना, ये वेल्थ मैनेजर है, तो no matter what I say, people will reflect only on money here. Good that you saved some money.
सर यूजर ने जो एसिड रिफ्लक्स पे क्वेश्चन पूछा था, उसके बाद शी इज क्लैरिफाइंग कि मुझे उसके बाद नींद ही नहीं आती, आई कांट स्लीप, मतलब वो रात में सोती ही नहीं।
My advice to her is, because I can't diagnose only on this acid reflux, is basically the anger throughout the day she or he is carrying. Naturally, 3 to 6 p.m. she feels hopeless, and it becomes acid reflux. And in that hopelessness, again, the mind must be going active, not able to sleep. So I would say, follow the frequency for few days of Sanj, prayer, and see the difference if it is there.
So I want to ask this because you just said, for a person online who said that he's not able to sleep after 3, so you said it's normal, you can just keep awake. But then, will your body not ask for a minimum hours of sleep, or that?
I answered minimum hour concept.
That is not needed. But when I, get up at 3 or 4, and then I don't sleep, then after a few hours my head starts paining.
That's what I'm saying, that you must be doing something more than you are willing to do. See, you're taking some burden on yourself. Your natural flow is not for certain things which internally you feel you shouldn't be doing, but you're doing it. But you are so blessed that your spirit says, chal, thodi der late chal. Or you are running away, one of the two.
So that's all we have from online the questions.
So I hope it was useful for, at least if you don't make health, at least save some money on diet and gym and the trackers. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Everybody, just wait. We have some tea, a little bit snacks. If you have any questions, we will answer. Sir needs to be. जितनी बार हो
Thank you.
बैठी बैठी